And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Hello there. Just finished the book Dungeon Lord by Hugo Huesca. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry, man. But yeah, Dungeon Lord. This is a long series, and this is another lit RPG like Dungeonborn, Dungeonborn kind of like a Dakota Kraut's series franchise, his style of writing. Okay, obviously I have a type, because I write this type as well. I call it easy writing because there's a lot of escapes. So what happens, this book is basically about a guy playing a video game, and then he's fired from his job because the teammate he's playing with in-game is his boss, and he lets his teammate die. And this is one of those games, when you die, well, it's permadeath. You have to restart your character from level 1. You have to start all over again. And anyone who's put in months of work in a character, and your character dies, you just get pissed. And so he ends up getting fired, well, threatened to be fired, and he snaps and kind of beats up his boss. He is recruited by a demon or a devil from another world to join the game he was literally playing. So apparently there was some magic involved that made that game from the other world, that made that game in our world, just so the heroes in the game, the people playing the game, would kill the bad guys. So he ends up being transported to that world to become a bad guy. Yet it still has the same kind of mechanics as a video game. He can still see his, well, I guess a quest log. He could still see his experience points. He could still use moves the same way by calling out commands, attack moves and things. So it's just like, is this really a world, or is this just a video game with how you're breaking it down? So he literally takes the Murmur's Gambit. That's basically the devil's gambit. And he literally takes the deal to become a dungeon lord and vows to only do good and not evil, because the quick way to get experience is to basically torture and sacrifice and things like that to gain experience, and he vows not to do any of that. So he's gaining experience the slow way, trying to improve himself. The mechanics of this world are it's supposed to be done by numbers, but in my mind it's just like, I think he's making it up as he goes along. I mean, it doesn't change the story, but oh my gosh, it is very bloody and adult themed. My technology is freaking out on me right now. So he's thrown into this other world, and he finds out that this thing called this mind brood, and the mind brood basically goes through someone's ear like a parasite, or it's a parasite that basically eats away at the brain while mimicking the person it eats away, however, taking on the traits of its hunger for, well, what it eats. So it literally has the memories of the person whose brain it ate, however, it has the cravings of the creature. And then it mutates into the mind brood. And it was incredibly disturbing because the mind brood was put in a child, and he is just seeing that little girl's perspective as she's losing her mind was way too adult for me, because it was just disturbing and horrific, and just, oh, my mind was like, oh, poor thing, die. Oh, anyone who should do something like this deserves to die, deserves to be tortured, it's just like, in my mind, I'm like, this is just not right, the fact that there is something like this out there. But it made the world seem so barbaric. So the fact that there are creatures like this in the world, and then you have a story as to how it not really came to be, but why it became such a threat, why it's changed the opinion of dungeon lords and everything, because they are the ones who basically brought that mind brood to civilization. And it's just, just knowing what it does is creepy and cringy, and it's basically his job to take it out, to prevent the eradication of the human colony that's there. Because if he didn't, then what is it called? The group of people who are just overly, I'll remember afterwards, I know it. Yeah, but the church will basically send their expositioners, whatever. The church will send their group of people to just eradicate every living being there, because as it breathes, it goes into other people's ears. And the problem is, because they believe themselves to be the person they were before, there's no way of truly telling if that person is a mind brood or if they are real. So, the Inquisition literally just eradicates everyone in town. Will eradicate cities. And so he wanted to prevent that.